Hello. This is the side-by-side mat movement session. So we're simply feeling the sides by shifting weight. Feel the transition through the bones of the feet. And then coming to stillness. Let the shoulders relax, knees soft. And then with your hands, placing them either side of the head, imagine the brain, the two sides. And then coming to cup the ears. The two sensory organs for hearing. The eyes for seeing. Then folding the hands, releasing the index fingers, pressing one nostril, breathing through the other. Change. Change. Once more. The two distinct sides of the nose. And then down to the paired organs of lungs, circling outwards and in. Then taking the hands, folding them in, bringing them together to the heart. Two distinct sides. On the left, the oxygenated blood. On the right, the deoxygenated blood. And then taking the hands to the kidneys, rubbing them here. Then either side of the large intestine, just sliding up and down. So your right is the ascending part, your left the descending part. And then settling the hands where your ovaries are, or the space where they once were. If you're male, then just taking the hands, directing them down towards the testes. So acknowledging the pair of reproductive organs. Letting that settle. So our first flow. We bring the arms in front, about shoulder height. We're going to take the left arm and we're drawing it back, looking behind. It's like we're pulling the bow. Then the hands in prayer come to the heart. We shift the weight into the right leg. I'm going to take the left leg back. We might rest it on the toe. We might try to find and see if we can balance here. And then we bring the leg down. The arms are coming up. The right hand is taking the left wrist and it's drawing it across to the right side. Then the arms are both up. The back leg bends. So we have a deep lunge. We come out that, spring our way back up. We're taking the arms and we are swinging them in a circle inside a very big doorway. And then we bring that down. So I'm going to turn to show you from the other side. Arms, shoulder height. We're taking the right arm. We're drawing it back. The hands then resting to the heart in prayer. It will be the right leg this time comes back. You might stay here. You might try to balance. The leg then lands. The arms come up. Taking the right wrist with the left hand and drawing across to the left. We bring the arms up. We lift the right heel. We bend the knee into the lunge. We spring back in and find circles, both arms to the right. 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to touch the sides of the head, the neck, each shoulder top, the sides of the torso, all the way down the legs. You bend the knees, you'll be able to touch right down, possibly to the outsides of the feet. And then we'll press, tap, whatever, on our way back up through the sides. Then the left palm is up, reaching it right up. The right one is down. We press as though we're pressing against something, and this will give a reach through the side of the left body, and then the other side. Bringing the arms at a 90-degree angle. The elbows are into the sides of the body. We're turning with a rotation to the left, little pulse, center, right, pulse, center. I'm taking the left arm this time, it's coming up. We're lifting the right heel. This will let us arc over a little bit further. And then the other way. We lace our fingers together. I'm coming up into that hero arm position. You'll obviously lose my hands, but basically the palms are upwards. We're going to take a reach up and over to the left. We're coming back. The hands coming down about shoulder height, soften through. Interlace the fingers the other way. They come back out and up and over. And we're coming back through the center, the arms down, let them hang. I'm just noticing how one side of the body feels in comparison to the other side. Maybe there's more weight in one side. Maybe one feels lighter. And then coming to widen the legs, not hugely. Soften through the knees. And we're bending to the left with both arms. The arm swing, 1, 2. And then on this third one, we're going to try and balance. This will be into like a little star shape. And then we come back. From here, we are organizing into the triangle. So you might slide down towards the knee. It might be further. The other arm comes up. Then the front leg bends. We press lightly the arm. The other arm is coming back. It rests either at the back. For some people, you might be able to bring the hand round and it touches the front thigh. Then the top arm. It's going to help turn the body. The hand comes down to the earth. The other arm that is on the front leg comes up. You turned your back foot so that you're into a twisted lunge. The top arm comes down. It walks you around. Now you might like to place the hands on your legs. You might find that they can come down to the floor. It might be available for you to widen the legs and lower further. And then pushing back out, we'll bring the feet in a little to roll back up. Ready to repeat on the other side. First off knees. We're going to swing 1, 2. The third one, we're going to weight shift and then come into a balance. That leg comes down. We then reorganize into our triangle. The top arm softens. It might bind. The front leg bends, the other arm rests on top. And then the top arm is coming back up. And then back down, opposite the front leg. Twizzle the back leg and let the arm on top of the bent front leg come up. Bringing that arm back down. Let it bring you forward into a wide position. It might be that the hands stay somewhere on the legs and you relax over. If that's uncomfortable, you can lengthen out. You might find that you can bring the hands down or possibly even widen the legs into a wide forward fold. Then finding your way out of this. Coming all the way back up. Let the shoulders have, if you're already here, a circle back. And then forwards. Let that settle. And then in your own timing, coming onto hands and knees. Meanwhile, I will shift my camera angle. and then join you. So, like we did at the beginning, shifting weight side to side. Take a pause. And then the rib cage. Left, up, right, down. Let that settle. Feet to the left. Come to look at them, compressing the sides. Then let the toes curl under. We're coming into a high kneeling position. You will lose some of me, but the arm's going to come up and down. The other arm comes up. You may either touch the back of the leg or you might touch the heel. You could look up or you could look over your shoulder. And then we come back up. We have both arms, I don't know if you can see, they're in a kind of cactus position. We let the pelvis come a little bit further forward. And then down we come. I will turn, ready for our other side. So weight shifting. Let the side to side movement settle. Rib cage to the right, up, left, down. Come to stillness. Feet to the right. Come to look, so you're compressing. Toes curled under, up. So it's the right arm this time, up and back. The left arm comes up. So again, it could be at the back of the leg. It could be the heel, looking over or looking up. And then we have the cactus arms. We can bring the pelvis through just a little bit. And down we come. So we're still with the right side. We're taking the right leg, we're bending it and we're pulsing it. It comes down. The toes curl under and we have a downward facing dog. We can lift the heel of the right leg. We might lift the foot. We might be able to extend right up. Then we come down. We bring the left hand in just a little bit so that we can start to circle the right. Then we take the left hand a little bit further forward so we can scoop the right arm through. You could stay here or you could lengthen the left arm to make the clock hands of 9 o'clock. And then the arms slide their way back in. And we're ready for the other side. So, left leg. Some pulses. Toes under, downward facing dog. The left heel might lift. You might take the foot off, or you might be able to lengthen up higher. And that comes back down. We're going to bring the right hand in a little bit so that the left arm has more freedom to move. Then the right hand returns, the left scoops under, either staying here or extending the right arm to make 3 o'clock. And then finding your way back out. We're still with the left side, and we're going to bring the knee through. A little rock there. Then see if you can lower here. You might be at the hands, you might be the lower arms. You might bring yourself right down. Drawing yourself back up. Let the right leg bend. Taking the left hand over to the right side. So you might stay here. You might be able to reach the right leg with the right arm. So it might point up, it might be flexed. And softly finding your way out of that, sliding through. Both hands are coming to the right, so the left leg can come through. When it's through, just turn it out to the edge of the mat and circle the pelvis. Reverse the circling. Take pause. The hands come back centrally, but they're still parallel. The back toes curl under. So that might be as far as you go, or you might be able to take the knee up. So you have this lizard lunge. Bring the knee back down, release the toes and lengthen on back. We come forwards again. And this time we try to lower the arms. So you can, I'll just move the leg out of the way. So you're either bending the elbows or you're bringing the lower arms down. You have a little rock here. If you want to, you can curl the back toes under and rock. You could even lift that knee and rock. Soften back. And we'll find this on the other side. So we're starting with the right bent leg. We're taking this into a forward fold. So we might bend the elbows. We might come down to lower arms. We might come even further. We slide our way back. It might be available to bend the back leg. If that's not available, you might be able to curl the toes under and let the knee come off. Otherwise, bending. You might be staying there, or you might like to take the left hand to the left leg. Releasing out, coming back. Both hands this time to the left so that the right foot can come forwards. Once you're there, just let it turn out. And finding your circling. Circle the other way. And pause. So your hands are parallel directly underneath your shoulders. Your back toes come under. You might stay there, or you might be able to lift. So you have the lizard lunge. The back knee comes down. You might find some lengthening in the right leg. And then we're coming back. So this time it might be a bit easier to steer my arms through the leg. So we're basically bending the elbows, softening down. It might be that you can actually bring the lower arms down. Whichever you've chosen, have a little rock here. And then some of you might want to try the back toes under and the knee coming up. Soften that back down. Release out of that. Come up to a high kneeling or a low kneeling position. I'll come low so I'm more visible. Give the hands a good shake out. Whew. And then hands back down, left leg out, toes forwards. We're coming up to find our swing gait. So you'll lose my top arc. I'll just try and see that the hand can come in there. Then back, down. Here you might lift the heel. You might then take the arm across. Some of you might want to do the lift. And then we gently bring that down. We're going to use this to try and lift us back up now, that movement. We're bringing the fingers laced together into hero, arms, then they're coming forwards. We're coming down now onto the lower arms, lacing the fingers, rocking forwards and backwards. When your weight is forwards, bring the left leg in, coming up to the scorpion, either parallel or turned out. And then we bring that leg down. The knee is out. I'm going to bring the other knee out. Bring the large toes towards each other and have a wide child. You might stay quite high. You might be able to come lower. You can be still here. You can rock. And then we find our own way out of this. Ready to flow on the other side. So this time, it's the right leg is out, the toes are forwards. We're finding our balance coming up. We're arcing over. And then I'm going to come the other way. Could be a light tip touch, could be a knuckle, could be a palm. Going to take the arm over, possibly lift the heel, maybe even the leg. And that's coming down. We're going to use this arm as a kind of pendulum to take us back up. Lace the fingers, hero, and then back down. So we have the sides of the lower arms, lacing the fingers, a rock forwards and backwards. Into the scorpion. And then the wide child. So the knees are out further than parallel. The big toes come towards each other. You can be still here. You can rock. You can stay quite high, or you might be able to lower. Peeling our way from here and into whatever sitting position you'd like to be in. So I do tend to cross my legs quite a bit. But if you want your legs lengthened, let them be lengthened. The spine growing up to the sky and down to the earth at the same time. Shoulders hopefully relatively relaxed. And the sides of the brain. Cupping the ears. the eyes. Folding the hands, leaving the index fingers, closing the left, breathing through the right, changing. To the lungs. Creating a heart. The distinction between the left of the oxygenated blood, the right of the deoxygenated blood. One organ, two distinct sides. Taking the backs of the hands to the kidneys, the rub. If it's not comfortable with the backs of the hands, then obviously use the front. And then ascending and descending large intestine, ascending to the right, descending to the left. And then coming to locate either ovaries or the space where they once were, or testes. We're going to let the arms, they rest either to the legs or onto the mat. And drawing the spine back and forth, back, forth, back, forth. We're keeping one leg bent, the left leg, and the right one lengthened. I will need to actually come back a bit so you can see my foot. We're going to place the fingers together, leaving the thumb and the index fingers up. They are coming right up over the head. We're then forward folding them towards the foot, which they may or may not touch. They're coming back up. They're opening. They're finding some support on the mat so that we can push down in order to lift the pelvis up. It comes back down. The bent leg. The foot's either coming below or above the knee, and we find a wing flutter. Then that releases. We bring the other leg in. We press through the hands, really lifting that spine up and down. You can be still here. You can flutter, whatever feels good. And then we're going to change sides. So the left leg this time is lengthening and the right is bending. We place the fingers, thumb, index fingers free. coming up, and then folding with a reach, so reaching as far forward as you can. Reaching back up, opening, supporting, and if you want to, you can lift. You come back down. The right leg then, either below or above the knee. Opening up the joint there. And then we bring the other one to it and flutter. So the legs come up. This time, one leg is lengthened down, and it will be the right, and we're going to cross the left one. We're twisting towards the left. We're coming back, uncrossing. We have the left elbow and the left knee, and we twist. We come back. We're going to reach the arm as far forward as we can. Possibly the shoulder can come towards the knee. We're then turning the arm, and we're trying to just take it back behind and have a little pulse. So that's at the foundation. For some people, it's possible now to lift up here, to bring the hands to meet behind and lift up. It's quite a challenging position. And then we release out, the hands back and down. Lift up. You can either stay here or you can come on up. Then we're back. We are opening the legs relatively wide. Possibly both knees down. Maybe one is hovering. And then we're ready for the other side. So the left leg is lengthened, the right across, and we twist. We come back, we uncross, and we have elbow into knee. We're opening. By pushing the elbow into the knee, it does create a resistance that might rotate you comfortably a little bit further. Then we come back. So this arm, see if you can reach my hand. We turn. We bend. And just coming to the outside of the leg, and we'll have a little rotate here or pulse. Again, a few people might be able to take that round to meet the other hand and lift up that way. Releasing out, finding the support, lifting up through the body. You might stay here, you might decide to have a full lift up, and then we're back down. Wide-ish legs, one way and the other. From here, our wide position. We're coming over to the left. We have a high arc. We're looking up, we're feeling the reach down the top side. Then that arm is coming round and we are just gently folding over. We're then sliding the hands up towards the knee. We're sliding the hands forward, maybe down onto the elbows. You might need to keep the elbows up. Some people might be able to slide all the way. We're coming back up. We're bending the legs. So we're taking the hands now and we're trying to point them backwards. So the elbows are coming down towards the knees. The hands are trying to come backwards to make the little legs of the tortoise or the turtle. So most of you will stay here nice and high, feeling that shell. It is possible for some people to lengthen out the arms and legs, but for most of us, staying higher is more appropriate. And then we come out. We let the right leg bend, the left leg lengthen, and we arc over. We're going lower this time. We're going to turn it. Then we're sliding the hands up towards the knee until we can bring it out to forward fold, hands, elbows, or head. And we're then sliding back in. We're taking both knees to the left and coming onto that side. We'll give ourselves a little rock here. Take a pause. We'll take the upper index finger, close the upper nostril, just breathe through the lower nostril. We release. We gently cradle the head. We're drawing in the abdominals. We're pressing down and letting the head and the lower legs come up and down. When you come down this time, letting the upper arm reach forwards while the upper leg comes back. Then we change that over so the leg is forward and the arm is back. This time, when the leg comes back, take the hand, pulse it, You could stay here, or you might have availability to take hold and create a bow on this side of the body. You release that down. We come up to semi-sitting. The top arm on the side of the body. We're going to lift up the torso, the arm arcs over and back. Lift up and back. Twice more, but if you want to, you can bring in the pelvis by pushing down. Let the pelvis come up, pushing down. Let the pelvis come up. We find our way to the fan again. We're arcing high to the right. We bring that arm over. We have a fold. We slide the hand up towards the knee and then forward. So you might be at hands, elbows, possibly head. And then sliding all the way back. The legs bend in. We're going to find our tortoise, our turtle. So we're bringing the elbows roughly round to the knees and we're trying to turn the hands back. Creating the shell. Some people might be able to lengthen limbs. And then sliding your way back out. The right leg then is lengthened, the left is bent. We have that arc over. We turn. Slide the hands up towards the knee and then across to a fold. We come back up. Both knees now coming to the right, so we can come down on that side. Have a little rock. And then let that settle. Taking the index finger, top nostril pressing. Breathing through the lower nostril. Releasing. So the arm very gently cradles the head. Knees are together. We're using the abdominals. I'm going to draw them in, press the side of the body into the mat. And then coming up, feeling the compression into the sides of the body. Then next time you lower, stillness. Now top arm reaches forwards, the leg is going to come back. We change over, so the arm back and the leg forwards. It creates kind of a diagonal. The next time that the leg comes back, take that hand, pulse. You could stay here, or you might have availability to take hold around the leg, ankle, foot area, the side bow. Soften that out. And sliding then up to semi-sitting. We have an arm here. And we're lifting up through the torso. The arm comes over and back. A second time. So 2 more times. If you want to add in the pelvis lift, you push down a little bit more in order to come up. And then finding your comfortable sitting position, whatever that might be. Letting the spine grow up to the sky and down to the earth simultaneously. Let the elbows be heavy. From here, we're going to take an arc to one side. We can slide through the hand. The elbow may or may not touch the floor. And then we come to the other side. I'm going to let the shoulders rise up to the ears. Slowly release down. Up to the ears. Release. Up to the ears. And release. Coming to bring the hands together to the heart. Closing the eyes. And becoming aware of how the left side of the body is in relationship to the right. Is there asymmetry? Where things are a little different on each side? So, for instance, one of my sitting bones, my left one, seems far more weighted to the earth than my right one. Likewise, my left shoulder feels more dropped than my right. Noticing for you the different sensations going on in the different sides of the body. Then becoming aware of the air outside, touching your skin, and how that's feeling for you. And then softly opening the eyes to the light, colors, textures, and shapes of your chosen movement space. Thank you all very much. You may need to take a few moments to come to a more everyday sense. As you're in your own home, you could lie down for a while, see what you need. And once again, thank you very much for sharing this time with me, our journey side by side.